getting emotional. I want to take this time to thank every single new person who has subscribed to my YouTube channel, who has followed me on Instagram, and who has been kind enough to leave comments, send me messages. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it keeps me inspired and wanting to continue making videos and being just a part of the online social media world. So thank you so much. Anyways, back to my video. Today's look is kind of a weird one for me. I just got a bunch of new products and I thought that I would try them all out in this video. So I have the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. I used this palette right here. I actually used it for my eyes, believe it or not. I used these two shades right here for my eyes. I used this new blush on my cheeks, and oh my gosh, it's Bittersweet from Urban Decay, and I personally would never look at a purple blush and be like, oh yeah, I need to buy that. But I tried it at the store. I love the way it looks. I feel like with a bronze face, this blended into the bronzer is stunning. It just adds a little bit of definition and a little bit more of like a deeper, more like sultry kind of look. It is gorgeous, and if you have not tried it, definitely go in, have them try this on your face. I am pretty sure you'll love it. It is amazing. And also, last but not least, I tried out the new CoverGirl Outlast Stay Luminous. Now guys, I have combination skin that gets very oily, and so far I've had this on for a little while now, and it has not budged, it has not come off. It sets beautifully. It looks like my skin. You guys, it looks like my skin. It is beautiful. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this look and how I used that gorgeous Urban Decay blush to incorporate it into my bronzer, then just keep watching. The first thing I like to do is go in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso, and I like to start at the tail of my eyebrow and get a little bit of a flick going. So basically I just take really light strokes and I kind of go just in stroke motions. So basically what I like to do with my eyebrows, so basically how I like to get started is I like to start at the end of my brow where it's really thin and tapers off, and I like to get the little tail going first. I do this by applying light flicking motions as I go across the brow so that it's not too heavy, too hard of an application, and it looks a lot more natural. And then I slowly bring it towards the middle, still going in those light stroking motions towards the tail, and I bring it to the front, where I slow down just a little bit. I apply a little bit more pressure because I have a lot less hair there in the front and it's more noticeable. So I'm still not pressing too hard, but I do give it a little bit more pressure to give it more definition. After I do that on the bottom, and I really am careful with the shape at the front because that's what people are going to notice a lot, is that they're going to notice your tail and they're going to notice the front of your brows more than anything. So I really take my time on those two spots. And then I go to the top of the front and I do the same. I apply the pressure and I go towards the back. And I outline my brows. I focus on the outline next. And then once I have the outline of the shape down, then I just go in and I fill it in, again, with light flicking motions. And I kind of do, I know a lot of people say not to do this, but I do draw a line straight down. I feel like because I don't have much brow up there to work with, I have to really create the shape. So I do that, and then I take the other end of the pencil, the little spoolie brush, and I just brush it out to soften things up and blend it in really good. I have tried so many different products. I've tried brow pomades and brow gels, and while I love the Anastasia brow pomade, and I am starting to like the NYX brow gel, I just don't have a lot of time in the mornings when I'm getting ready because I have 2 kids. And anyone who has 1 kid even can tell you that getting ready when you're watching a little one is not something that is easy to do, so you definitely don't have a lot of time to play with. So I go for the easier, faster options, which tends to be the brow pencil with a powder. Now I'm taking the Anastasia brow powder and I'm starting off with the darker side first, and I'm working on the ends and building up the shape. I like combining these two because espresso is a little warm and the taupe brings it down a little, and it meets it like right in the middle, which is kind of where my hair is at. It's not super warm, but it's also not like super cool of a shade. The highlights and the lowlights are kind of a little bit of both. And then I take the other side, which is the lighter side, and I use that in the front because I want it a little bit softer in the front and a little bit more defined in the back. So I do that, and then I just check, and my brows are looking pretty good. Make sure it's not sloppy. So my brows are good. So now I am going to take my Anastasia brow gel and I'm going to set things. I love this gel. It's super like light. It doesn't make your brows look like there's gel in them, but it also sets them in place. They look great all day. And you really just take it and shape your hair. So when you brush it in, pay attention to where your hairs are falling, and then like up here it gets a little crazy, so I bring them back down. Next I'm going to take my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and this is in the shade Eden. I talked about this in one of my videos. I will post it down below if you haven't seen it. Alright, so next step, I'm going to grab this nice fluffy Luxy tapered blending brush I got in my Ipsy bag, and I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to just start by putting a base all over my eyes, and I just think I'm decided to mix these two right here because I'm going from a little bit more of that like dark, see I'm going to tap both, I'm going for a little bit more of the dark kind of look today because it's gloomy out and I felt like kind of going with it. And so I'm going to take that and I'm going to brush it into the crease of my eyes, and that's mostly where I'm going to focus it. This is going to be my blending area. It's going to really deepen my crease and make it look like I have a decent sized lid and a decent crease, when in fact, as you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not the best. Which is fine, I live with it. I mean, it's my crease and I'll do what I want. So a little tip is if you want a lighter application, you hold your brush more on the end, and that kind of helps it to where your application is a lot lighter. It just makes it easier for you. If you hold your brush super close right here, it's just easy to be heavy with the application. Now I'm going to grab this brush right here from Coastal Scents. I got it in a set that I bought from Ipsy. Again, I love Ipsy. This way is the way it goes. It's just a blending brush. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this pink shade right here and I'm going to put this all over my lid. It is an interesting shade. It is like pink in the palette, but as you can tell, I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit more orange when you apply it. Very interesting. Either way, I am liking it a lot. So next I'm going to go in with this Coastal Scents brush, and it has kind of like a tapered end. I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't have a name, but this is a really great for defining the crease. Maybe it's a definer brush. Maybe that's what it's called. But anyways, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this shade right here from the Shade Light palette next to the black one. It's like this like brownish grayish color. And I am going to just tap, tap, tap. And with Kat Von D eyeshadows, there's a bit of fallout, but that's okay because the eyeshadows are amazing. So pigmented, and they blend so well. So I'm going to be a little sloppy with the application, but that's okay because there is a purpose. There is a purpose for it. And I'm taking this out. I'm taking this into about the outer third right here, and I'm focusing the application, making it heavier on the outside and dragging it in so that it sort of blends and buffs itself. Then I'm going to take my mirror here and I'm going to put it out a little bit and look straight ahead and add shadow and blend where I feel like it is lacking because of how my crease is. That happens very easily. Where I'm applying it like this and I'm like, oh, it looks so great, and then I open my eyes and it disappears. I don't want that. So I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of this shade right here next to it to make it a smidgen lighter than the other side, and I'm going to bring it into the inner corner. All right, and let's do that on the other side. All right, so we're not done with the eye look yet, but in order to get the last bits done, we have to finish up the face, so that is going to be our next step. All right, so now I'm going to use this guy. This is the first time I'm ever using it, so I tested it in the store and I found that it stayed on, which is why I wanted to try it out. It is CoverGirl Outlast Stay Luminous, and it's set really well in the store, so I'm hoping that it does again. If you use tapping motions when you first apply the foundation, it's going to really like apply heavily to those certain spots, and then after you go and you buff them. Oh my gosh. Do you see how gorgeous? Is the camera picking up how beautiful this is applying? I don't think it's picking it up. Oh, this is not like a shimmery luminous. This is just like a gorgeous sheen, and I'm really, really liking it, and I'm hoping that it will hold up throughout the day and not get super oily as the day goes on. Oh my gosh. All right, so the next step is going to be my under eyes. I am going to use a combination of the MAC Pro Longwear in NC25 and the Naked Skin from Urban Decay in medium light. I am applying it under my eyes like so. That's all, and then I'm going to take this little e.l.f. brush that I found. Is the angled contour brush, and I saw this at Target, and I've been wanting a brush like this for under my eyes. It's like angled and small, so I can really like get in there. So that's what I'm doing right now. So now I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay, and I'm just gonna set this more on the inside here, like right there, like that. I like to use a dry beauty blender sometimes because it will pick up excess for me. So when I get a little heavy-handed under my eyes, like today, because I'm so incredibly tired, it will pick up the excess so that it doesn't look super cakey. Now is for my new favorite step. This seriously has become my favorite step lately, and it is cooking or baking. I am using the Ben Nye Cameo powder, and I just put some into the cap here, and then I tap my beauty blender into that, and you see all this right here. I take it and I put it under my eyes, and I make sure that it's like caked on. I don't know if you can tell how caked on it is, but it's pretty caked. And I do that. All right, so I'm gonna let that cook or bake for a while I do the rest of my face. Bronzer. I'm going to use the Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced with the Real Techniques. I think this is like a blush brush is what they call this. Next step is going to be blush, and I really wanted to get a little wild with my blush. So I am using the Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Powder Blush in the shade Bittersweet. It is a super, like, I'll show you. It's pretty pigmented. So I'm going to use a Duo Fiber brush from, again, Real Techniques. And this will help apply it more evenly and lighter. I wipe it off on the back of my hand. Don't worry, I can wipe my arms off later. And then I take it this way and I buff it out, and this kind of blends it all around so that I don't have any weird dramatic lines on my face. So now that I have the blush put on, I'm going to go on with my highlighter. I'm going to use this brush right here. It's the Expert Fan Brush. Again, this one is from Afterthoughts, just like the other one that I used earlier was for my brows. And I'm going to take MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish Indefinitely Defined. I really love this highlighter for the days I'm trying to look bronzed and glowy. It is awesome. Oh girl, I'm glowing. I am glowing, glowing, glowing. Put on the other side as well. I'm going to kind of lightly bring it onto my forehead so it looks like, oh, I'm so sweaty. I'm so sweaty. And on the tip of my nose and my lips. Ah, I love my lips. After I apply my highlighter, I always like to go back with my blush brush and just not add any excess color. I just go in with whatever I have left and I go back over it here just so my blush really peeks through and it just gills it more. This is the setting brush from Real Techniques, and I just brush it out from under my eyes. Honestly, if you have problems with creasing under your eyes and nothing is working, try baking. Get a good under eye powder, a brightening one. Ben Nye's a good one. Bare Minerals also has a really good under eye setting powder as well. So now that we have that all applied, the under eye concealer is applied and set. Now I'm gonna go in with this flat top brush right here, and I'm gonna go back in with that like burgundy, like I said, I couldn't decide what color it was. Burnt brown. And I'm just gonna start applying it on the outer parts of my lower lash line. So I apply the brown here. And now I'm going to take the brush from earlier that we used to blend everything. I'm going to add a little bit more of that pinky, orangey, this one right here. I'm going to add a little bit more of that onto the brush, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to buff out this dark shade I just put on and really bring it in. With this brush, again, I'm going to take this shade that I had earlier and I'm going to make sure that the color is blended into my eye, my lash line. The very last step for this close-up is taking some of this and some of this, tapping off the brush and bringing it into the inner corner here, blending it into the blending it into the middle. I am going to do the brow bone highlight, and then we are going to do the inner corner highlight. So I'm going to take this clean brush right here, another one from Coastal Scents, and it kind of has like this tapered middle right here. I'm going to go in with a combination of this shade right here, and I'm going to brighten it up with that one. We're going to bring those two together, tap it off, and then we are going to use that as our brow bone highlight, because I want, you can do whatever you want. Personally, I wanted the brow bone highlight to still be matte. This applied a lot more dramatic, so I'm just going to take the clean side, so just flip over your brush to the clean side and buff it out. So on the inside of my eyes, I'm going to go in with the lighter shade of my Definitely Defined highlighter that I used on my cheekbones. And I'm going to bring that on the inside right there. And it's not going to be too dramatic. It's just a little bit of a highlight right there. Nothing insane. And that makes me happy. Okay. For the last part of my eye look, I am going to put on this mascara. This is the Wonder Lash Mascara from Rimmel. This is mascara with argan oil. Tell me why I'm so impatient and I mess up my eyes. But that's okay, because there are Q-tips. Actually, I don't even have any Q-tips right here, so I am going to do another trick that I learned that works really, really well. Wait till they dry. I got some right here. I don't know if you can see that. Take a super stiff brush with nothing on it and flick it away. Alright, so we are almost done with this look. The very last step that we are going to take is I am going to be taking these guys. The Vincent Longo Duo Lip Liner, and I'm using this Naked shade, which is like a nude shade. Can you see? Can you see? It's really nude. Let's see, back of my hand. Very nude, right here. And I'm going to put the Anastasia lip gloss in Dainty over it because my eyes are crazy. I don't want my lips to be crazy too. Sometimes I do, but today I don't. Lip gloss is always fun for me because it's just so freaking pretty. And this Dainty one is definitely one of my favorite nude pinky shades. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found something that I said useful. It was somehow educational, helpful for you. And if it was, please do me a solid and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos. Check out my Instagram. My handle is at AmberKirk0225. I will have it linked down below. I'm also vlogging, so check out my last 3 videos that I did. They're my first 3 vlogs. They are my mom vlogs, and they're just kind of like a fun way for me to share my life and my experience in being a mom and getting into the YouTube thing with you. And I will see you guys soon. And okay, ooh.